Have you ever noticed your dog sneezing and wondered if they're coming down with a cold? Well, get ready, because you're about to learn the secret language of dog sneezes, and it's not always what you think. First up, the most adorable sneeze of all, the play sneeze. Picture this. You and your furry friend are having a great time, wrestling on the floor, and suddenly at you. That's not a sign they're getting sick. It's actually a dog's way of saying, hey, this is all in good fun. I'm just playing. It's a communication tool they use with other dogs and with us to make sure their rough and tumble play doesn't get mistaken for real aggression. It's like their little safety word. So next time your dog sneezes during playtime, you can smile knowing they're just being polite. But what about sneezes that happen when there's no playing involved? Sometimes a sneeze is just a sneeze. Just like us, dogs sneeze to clear their nasal passages. Dust, pollen, strong perfumes, or even just a bit of fluff can tickle their nose and trigger that reflex. If you notice your dog sneezes a lot when they're sniffing around a particular area, they might have just inhaled something that irritated their nose. It's usually a one-and-done situation, and nothing to worry about. Now, let's talk about the excitement sneeze. Have you ever come home and your dog gets so excited they can barely contain themselves? They're wagging their tail, wiggling their whole body, and then sneeze. This is a common reaction when a dog is feeling overjoyed or highly aroused. It's an involuntary physical response to a sudden rush of emotion. So if your dog sneezes when you grab the leash for a walk or when their favorite person comes to visit, it's just their way of expressing pure, unadulterated joy. However, not all sneezes are happy or harmless. It's important to know when a sneeze might be a sign of a health issue. If your dog's sneezes are frequent, persistent, or accompanied by other symptoms like a runny nose, nasal discharge that's yellow-green, or bloody, coughing, lethargy, or a loss of appetite, it's time to call the vet. These could be signs of a respiratory infection, nasal mites, a dental problem like a tooth root abscess, or even something stuck in their nasal passage like a grass seed. Another type to watch out for is the reverse sneeze. It sounds more like a loud, startling snorting or gasping sound, as if they're rapidly inhaling. It can look pretty scary, but it's usually not a cause for alarm. It happens when their soft palate gets irritated, causing a spasm. It often resolves on its own within a minute. You can try gently stroking their throat or briefly covering their nostrils to encourage them to swallow, which can help clear the irritation. But if it happens frequently or for long periods, a vet checkup is a good idea to rule out underlying issues. So, to recap, the play sneeze is a just kidding signal. The regular sneeze is often just clearing out irritants. The excitement sneeze is pure joy. But persistent sneezing, especially with other symptoms, warrants a trip to the vet. Understanding your dog's sneezes is another amazing way to deepen the bond you share. You're not just their owner, you're their translator. Thanks for watching and learning about the fascinating world of dog communication with us. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next deep dive into the secret lives of our pets. See you next time. Have you ever been playing with your dog? Things get a little rowdy, and then suddenly, right in the middle of a wrestling match, your dog lets out a huge sneeze. What does that even mean? Is their nose itchy? Are they allergic to fun? The truth is actually way cooler. That sneeze is one of the most sophisticated communication tools your dog has. First, let's understand the difference between a play fight and a real fight. A real fight is tense. You'll see stiff bodies, hard eye contact, and no breaks. It's all business. Play, on the other hand, is full of interruptions. You'll see dogs taking turns, doing play bows, and one of the most important interruptions of all, the sneeze. Now, we need to be clear. A medical sneeze is different. If your dog is sneezing over and over again outside of playtime, rubbing their nose, has a runny nose, or seems uncomfortable, that's a reason to call your vet. But a play sneeze is different. It's usually a single, short, and often really dramatic sneeze that happens right in the middle of high-energy action. It almost looks exaggerated, like they're putting on a show. So why do they do it? It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of emotional intelligence. The play sneeze is your dog's way of saying, "Hey, this is all just for fun. I'm not being aggressive." Think about it. Dogs play with their teeth and claws. It's a fine line between a fun game of bitey face and a real conflict. That sneeze is a signal to the other dog that their intentions are purely playful. Even if the actions look a little rough, it's their version of saying, "Just kidding." Here's where it gets even more fascinating. The sneeze isn't just a signal. It actually helps physically de-escalate the situation when dogs get really excited and overstimulated during play. Their nervous system starts to shift toward that fight or flight mode. The sneeze acts like a biological reset button. It forces a brief interruption in their breathing pattern and releases muscle tension. This helps lower the overall intensity of the moment before it can escalate into a real problem. It's like a built-in timeout mechanism that's hardwired into their social behavior. And other dogs are incredibly attuned to this signal. When one dog feels that play is getting a bit too intense, maybe the biting is a little too hard or the movements are too rough, they might sneeze. Tease a peace offering. A request to dial it back a notch. A well-socialized dog will almost always respond instantly. You'll see them soften their body, pause for a second, and then resume playing in a safer, gentler way. This is how dogs maintain consent and keep their high-energy games from turning into actual fights. It's all about making sure everyone is still on the same page and having a good time. Different dogs might use this signal in slightly different ways. Puppies, for example, sneeze a lot during play because they're still learning social boundaries and how hard they can bite. High-energy breeds often use it during fast-paced chase games to keep the mood light. And older, more experienced dogs might use a play sneeze to gently remind a younger, more rambunctious dog to calm down a bit. But no matter the dog or the situation, the core purpose is always the same: to prevent the playful brain from flipping over to the survival brain. So what does this mean for you, the owner? This is actually really important. If you're playing tug-of-war or roughhousing with your dog and they let out a play sneeze, take it as a cue. Pause for a moment. Soften your movements. Lower the intensity of the game. When you do this, you're telling your dog, "I heard you, I understand." This strengthens your bond and shows your dog that you respect their communication. On the flip side, if you see dogs playing intensely and you don't see any of these calming signals, no play bows, no soft bodies, and no sneezes, and instead you see their bodies getting stiff and rigid, that's your cue to step in and separate them. The absence of communication is often the biggest warning sign that things are about to go wrong. The dogs that communicate well rarely get into serious fights. It's when that communication breaks down that problems can arise. So the next time your dog lets out a big sneeze right in the middle of a play session, don't worry. In fact, you should smile, because your dog just demonstrated some pretty advanced social skills to keep the peace and protect a friendship. That little puff of air is a safety switch, a testament to how intelligent and emotionally aware our canine companions truly are. If you love learning about the secret language of your dog, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Purrfectly Wild. And I'm curious, have you ever noticed your dog doing the play sneeze? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one.